Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Words and Wine. Today we're making a beverage called Sidecar. For you side chicks. Just kidding.
What? Tatiana, what? Okay.
Just kidding.
Anyways,
getting right into it. Here are the
Sheesh.
ingredients. Go for it.
Oh, me, yes.
It's super simple to make.
Perfect. So we have some triple sec liqueur. I like saying that.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Some Hennessy.
Or your favorite cognac.
Yeah, I'm saying. And some
Lemons.
lemons. I don't think we need all of them, but
We
we're
don't.
gonna squeeze some.
Yes. We definitely don't need all of them, but I mean, the more the merrier.
Cool.
Have lemons in your thing. All right, first things first, we need to do 1.5 ounce of cognac.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, none of this is cold. I need ice.
Oh, yeah. Ice first
Yeah.
for those of you
Hold on.
who don't get to. I'm going to cut the lemons.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, cool. So, boom. So it's
1.5 ounce
out. Okay.
of cognac or
Woo!
Henny.
I'm trying to put the
Hennessy's
little
your
bicep.
is your favorite cognac?
I've been lifting, but I can't get this bottle open. I'm trying to put my muscle in there.
You want me to do it? I got
Yeah.
it. Let me show you how it's done. Ooh.
Ooh! I loosened it up for you though.
I got it, guys.
I
All
did
right.
loosen
All
it
right,
up for you.
I got it. You didn't do it. She needs to hit the
I
gym.
loosened it up.
What gym you go to? Get your money back.
EOS. You know what I'm saying? We be in there working.
Okay.
Me and all my gym heads,
Right.
my
shout out
gym
to you.
rats.
I mean, we're talking about the gym and drinking alcohol. Great mixture. Go ahead. Yep, that looks great. Pour that sucker in there.
Mind you, I'm probably only gonna have to sip.
Same.
Well, it depends on how good the conversation
Whew,
is.
I can smell that.
I know. Okay, so and then I need to have how much of this?
3/4 ounce.
Tatiana, you need to start cutting more lemons than that. What? I thought we was doing this simultaneously.
No, we were not.
You talking?
You remember when a side note, we used to go to high school together, and our basketball coach, anytime we would just like sit and watch, he would be like, "What do you think this is? The movies?" And that's what I thought this was. We were just watching. I was watching you make the stuff.
That
you need-
elongated story for
A
that.
little
Okay,
history lesson for you guys.
cool. So
Squeeze a lemon in a cool little. When'd you get this? 'Cause
I've had that this whole time.
Wow.
This whole time. It's crazy.
The whole time I've been doing
the whole time. Okay, okay.
3/4
3/4.
of your orange.
So
What is
that's only
it?
supposed to be like a
Liqueur?
third.
And we only need 3/4 of this.
Nah, bro. Keep squeezing. 'Cause you know what?
She just wants me to do
No,
this.
because what usually happens is she
It's
doesn't.
okay. I'll
she
show
doesn't
off my
put
muscles.
enough juice, bro.
I'll show off my muscles. Don't worry. Because we know who can open bottles.
Where?
You can't.
Where is it at? Where's your muscle?
Who opened that?
Where?
Who opened that? All right,
Point to
bet.
the muscle.
Bet.
Point to the muscle that opened it.
You see that bad boy?
I'm weak.
You see that bad boy?
I'm weak, TT. Tatiana.
I mean-
They call me Tati. Okay. Yeah. We good after this one? We good. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
You don't want me to squeeze
You
it
usually
more?
don't put enough. We just be drinking alcohol and there's
I know.
no juice.
Don't really be no juice. Dang, you could really make some lemonade over here.
Yeah, bro.
I don't have one of these at my house. All right, that took enough work.
Cool. And now, let's
Pour it in there. Oh, scared. Perfect.
Freshly squeezed. Okay. Oh, shoot. There's still some in there. Ooh.
And Jay's getting every last drop. Don't you waste that lemon juice.
I'm not. I don't waste food and I don't waste money. If you know,
You know.
you know.
I always get scared when you start shaking that.
Me too. That's why I got on all black. For every episode moving forward, all black, bro. I'm done having this
Just to be
explode
safe?
on me. No, it ain't happening no more.
Ooh, did it look like the
Because
sidecar
I don't
you
know how
have?
much. It did kind of look like the sidecar.
Bet. Lit.
Yeah, because we don't need. And you know how much Hennessy is in there?
Oh, no. And we're just having a
A
swig.
slither of
Yikes.
lemon, like
I mean, I think it's
normal?
gonna be... Let's try it first.
I'm just put some ice to fill the cup.
It's only water.
I need it watered down for me, bro. I ain't been drinking like that. All right, let's see what it tastes like.
Let's see. Cheers.
We know it's good. I made it.
We don't know.
It's decent. Stop. It's decent, bro. And you lying if you say it's not decent. It's decent.
I am not.
It is decent. It's decent.
I can't even talk.
Stop.
It's not bad, but it's heavy on the lemon. And I'm really not a cognac fan. And I don't really taste this. It's okay. It's not my favorite. But it's not bad. It'll get us through the episode.
So it's the ingredients, but it wasn't the bartender. It was like more so the ingredients.
No. I think a bartender, this.
We're done. Cut, bro. We going to talk about the topic, okay?
Tune in.
Yeah, nah, bro.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Words and Wine. Today we're going to be talking about something pretty deep, something pretty heavy, but something very serious, I think, and we think.
Yeah.
And the topic is mental health. Before we dive in, we're gonna definitely take a sip of our sidecar.
Sidecar, cheers.
It's okay.
It's very refreshing.
Ooh. Very lemon-y. All right, so let's just dive right in. Mental health. It's been like an issue for decades. It's definitely something and a topic that not a lot of people talk about. But with the pandemic that took place last year going into this year, it has increased.
Yeah.
So we kind of want to tap into it just because we kind of have our own tips and tricks of how we deal with our own kind of mental health, and we want to be able to share that with you. But we also just want to dive in and talk about like the stats and how it's affecting people all around the world. So before we get into like conversation, let me give you a quick little stat. Okay, to give you guys a quick little stat on mental health. So even before COVID-19, 90% of adults experience a mental health illness. So that's 1.5 million people over the last year's data set. So it's definitely increased number from last year. And that just kind of shows and recognizes that people are more aware of that their mental health is something that they want to take serious and they want to fix. So
yeah.
Tapping into that really quick before we get into any other stats, like how do you feel about your mental health and what do you kind of do to cope with the world and everything going on?
For me, something that's been helpful, I think it was September, I started meditating on a regular basis. And so that just kind of helps me to like clear my mind, to kind of get my energy like leveled, you know?
Yeah.
And like just start my day fresh, you know, with like a fresh mind and like feeling kind of like renewed and stuff.
Right.
So that definitely helps me to start my days. And outside of that, to be honest with you, man, like I pray and I
feel that.
I do that. Yeah. I do a daily devotional every day. I read my Bible every day. Like sometimes like life gets hard and stuff and
Absolutely.
You know, all the things around us all the time. Yeah, a lot of things are uncertain and stuff and you just got to remember God's promises. You know, if this applies to you, then this applies to you. If this is something you can, you know, pull from, if it's not something you believe, hey, you know, it is what it is. But for me, like I remind myself of God's promises, you know what I'm saying? Like to kind of get me through. And then like I said, with the meditation and stuff, that's definitely helpful. So yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, for the longest, anxiety is something that is kind of hard to identify. Because it's like you can think like, no, I'm good. Like I don't have anxiety and not really understand like certain things trigger you to move differently, act differently, feel differently. Your thoughts are different. So I think that's something that I like really identified last year. I mean, COVID made you sit down and think, so I had no choice. And I started realizing certain things that were like giving me anxiety, but also understanding that a lot of that came from my thought. Like what I was thinking, what I was reading, what I was listening to, what I was surrounding myself with was such a big thing. And like we don't even realize it sometimes. Like what you read, what you listen to, who you surround yourself by can really affect like your thought process and how you think about things, how confident you are in yourself, how you want to produce, how you want to be seen in the world. So I recognized that last year, and I started making changes. I started reading more. I started tapping into the Bible and my faith, and I started just praying more, and meditating and yoga has been really big for me. For a person like me, where I'm an air sign, I believe in astrology. For those who applies, for those who doesn't, I get it. But I'm an air sign, so my thoughts and feelings and all these things are very airy. Like, everything's always all over the place. I have like a million thoughts a minute. So for things that help me with my anxiety are things that keep me grounded.
You're very airy.
I'm very
You
airy.
had to say that.
I am. So are you.
Oh my
You're a
God,
Gemini.
bro.
And so I have to do things that keep me grounded, keep me like to the ground, because I
Yeah.
could be all over the place. So meditation was very big for me because that helps like slow down your mind, slow down your thoughts, and really
Facts.
just focus on things that you need. But also like yoga helped me just kind of like sit down and focus on like my body and loving my body and doing the
Yeah.
things that like is necessary. So I think mental health has definitely been more of a conversation now than it's been before, and I'm excited about it because
Me
I think
too.
people are really understanding like who they are and really trying to make changes that are healthy for themselves and the people around them. So I'm all for it. So if you feel like you have anxiety or don't really know if you have anxiety, go figure it out or go talk to somebody, because
Yeah.
it's definitely helpful, or do some meditation. Okay, to give you guys another stat, and we can dive right into this. It's kind of interesting, and it probably happens a lot more often than we know, is 60% of youth with depression do not receive any mental health treatment, even in states with the greatest access. So that's 1 in 3 are going without treatment.
Dang.
Why do you think that is? I think, sorry, I know I asked you, but I'm just going to
Go ahead.
is because they're just scared to have these conversations and acknowledge the fact that they need
You think with their
the
parents?
help. Yeah.
With their parents?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they need the help because in like, say, the Black community, it's not necessarily something that we're comfortable being able to be like, hey, so I think I have a mental problem. Like, no, you don't. You're fine.
I think it's because, you know, we really were raised to just like kind of deal with things
Yep.
and
Sweep it under the
To
rug.
sweep it under the rug.
Keep going. Keep pushing.
not to really talk about it,
Right.
not to, or like, you know, the way we deal with family problems is like
Right.
we deal with it as a family and we don't tell anybody about what's going on in the house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just deal with our problems like that.
Internally.
So that's not good for someone who needs someone else. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, but I got problems that I can't talk to y'all about. So like, who do I talk to? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or like, yeah, somebody who can do something about it.
Right.
You know? Because I think, just speaking from experience, like I've never been depressed, so I'm not speaking from like my personal experience, but from the people around me. I know it's like, it's hard to believe that someone's going through something that you can't see. And so that's why like mental health is so like,
Facts. I'll drink to that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's so touchy, because it's like, you know, I could see if, you know, you got a cast, right?
Right.
Dang, like I need to hold the door for this person because he limping and stuff. He got a cast, you got the crutches.
Right.
It's
It's
inconvenience.
obvious.
Cool. You know what I'm saying? But for the things that we can't see, you know, it's just like hard to, but like, oh, you're faking. You're being dramatic or like whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
maybe not, you know, maybe so, you know, because people do
Yeah.
be dramatic and need attention.
Right.
But then sometimes it's not that.
Right.
And then if we're not familiar with it, if we've never been depressed or we don't have anxiety because we don't know what it looks like,
Right.
then we definitely can't recognize it in you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. It's just touchy. It's like people want to get help, but they don't know how because they don't know how to explain what they feel, or they
Right.
don't even understand it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, themselves, because it's not familiar. Because like when you touch on anxiety, like I didn't know I had anxiety for the longest time. I didn't know what it, you know what I'm saying? Like no one
Right.
told me like this is what anxiety feels like.
Exactly.
Like you are
Or
very
here's a list
anxious
of
all the
things
time.
that could make you feel anxiety. Like,
Yeah,
it could be a
like-
range of things.
So I didn't know until I got like
Right.
older. Like,
To
oh
really
dang, like I
understand.
really got anxiety, bro. Like
Right.
this is
And
not
it's
good.
not like a negative thing.
It's
like,
not.
Even having like a mental health issue or illness or whatever they want to label it as, it's not a negative thing. It's just working through like different aspects of who you are and understanding who you are and being able to move past that.
And how to deal with it. Yeah, how to
Yeah.
address it, deal with it, and like accept things. I think a lot of
Exactly.
things is like we struggle with it because we don't know how to accept it. Once we can accept it,
Exactly.
it's cool.
Exactly.
You know, but like there's things that we don't know how to accept.
Exactly.
And we just have to like learn like, okay, cool.
Exactly. And for those who may be struggling with it, who are, you know, the youth who are not getting treatment or are unaware of what's going on, like, I highly encourage you to talk to people outside of your family, even outside of your circle sometimes.
It's medical professionals, man.
Exactly. There's people who go to school for this who would love to help you, who would just love to have a simple conversation. And I think sometimes just having that initial conversation with somebody who understands that space and world you're in is super helpful. It's necessary to like release and let it go and accept it and move forward, and that's just a part of the process. So I encourage you all to go find what you need, because it's a journey, but it's an interesting journey because you learn more about yourself. So tap into that. Another kind of interesting stat. So with mental health also comes like suicide. And there has been an increased number with adults having suicide thoughts, about 0.15. And that sounds really small, but it's it's almost 500,000 people from last year. So it's significant. And that's just crazy how people are willing to take their own life because whatever they're facing or going through is just too much, and they just rather just move on. We actually had somebody close to us pass away. We don't know a lot of the specifics, but they took their own life. And it's a struggle. It's one of those spaces that we won't understand, and we won't really know how to help in that aspect, which is why we always encourage you to go get the necessary help that you need, because your internal circle may not understand it, may not have ever experienced it, or may not know how to help you, and that's okay.
But too, I think like even though your internal circle like might not know how to help you, I do think like if you don't feel comfortable talking to people in your circle, that's something that you got to look into. You know what I'm saying? Because like even if like you don't know how to help me, I'm gonna tell you, bro.
Exactly.
I'm like,
I feel comfortable enough to at least tell you.
Yeah, like, sure. Bro, like I'm not gonna lie to you today. You know, like I would tell you, like, no matter what, like I don't care, like if you I'm not this strong, dependable Jay anymore. Like, ooh, I have battles and struggles too. Like, but I would still tell you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. You know, you gotta be around people that you can talk to about these things without judgment. You know?
Yeah, and even like we recently had a conversation a while back. I went to go see like a spiritual counselor, and she kind of just broke down different things and aspects in my life. And one of the things that she brought up is like sometimes you have to break away from your family to like really grow and understand your mental space and understand where you're trying to go within your mental space. So I also think that's key too, to understand like, even though your parents, and that worked for your parents back then, that's not necessarily going to work for you. And that's okay to understand. Like, sometimes there needs to be a separation for you to grow and really excel into wherever you're going, or really get out of that mental breakdown you might be having.
Yeah, I want to touch on that too, because like I do think that's important. Breaking away from your family, whatever that looks like for you. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody does it in different ways. But I do think that's important, because the way that we're raised, like sometimes I think that it can stifle our growth sometimes. Just because like we don't even know what thoughts are our own, or what thoughts we have adopted, because like this is the way that I was raised to think. I'm so used to my mom and my dad putting this into me, you know what I'm saying, because they've been putting it into me for forever, that I don't even know if this is my own opinion, or if this is really just like their belief that I've now adopted as my own. You know what I'm saying? Do I really feel this way? You know, so it's like you really do have to break away in some aspects so that you can figure out like who you are for yourself. And then I think that kind of helps you identify a lot of other things too. When you really know like, okay, this is coming from me. This is my conscience. This is who I am. These are my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? This is truly what I stand for and what I believe. Cool. And then you kind of know how to move. But I do think that can stifle your growth for sure, because you want to like please these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, but one thing I had to learn, like just as an adult child, that like, dog, like my mom's already proud, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like I could keep trying to do things. That's great. The more I do, the more you're gonna be proud. Of course. You know what I'm saying? Or the more I could do for you. You know what I'm saying? The further I get along in life. But at this point, dog, like she's already proud. Exactly. You know, so it's like I don't have to keep. You know, I could be who I am. I could, you know, think how I want to think and put myself into the world the way I want to present myself, because, dog, my parents are straight now.
They good. They
cool.
Because that's a big struggle, I feel like, when you're transitioning out of, like, your high school into college and
Yeah.
like really trying to make a name for yourself in this like career world is that you find a big struggle of trying to like please your parents but also please yourself, and there's just, you can't do both. It's just
Yeah.
not a thing. You're gonna struggle trying to please them more and not really get the happiness that you're looking for. So understand like and be okay and accept what's happening with that, and just be like, I know my parents are proud, they're good, I'm healthy, I'm good.
Yeah.
And keep going with your life and making better decisions and whatever you need to be able to get
Facts.
to the next stage. So I'm all with mental health. I'm all with all the strategies. So if you have any tips or tricks that you would like to share with us on what you do for mental health, please
Yeah.
do. If you have books or recommendations of other, shows or people you guys listen to that are great people to kind of lift people up, let us know too. We want to, spread the word as much as possible. Also, if you feel safe with us to share whatever you want to share or get whatever you need to get out of your head or your mind,
Yeah.
feel free to do that too. Like, we want to be able to create as much of a space for you to do
A community.
that.
Cultivate the
Yeah.
community. Yeah.
Facts, to be
Yeah.
able to do that too, because you may not have the insurance to cover some of these things, but at least you have people who are willing to support you in that space. So mental health is important. Take it serious.
For sure. Do what you gotta do.
Right, and get your mind right. That's important.
Yeah.
It's definitely important. But thank
Mentally
you so
fit.
much. Hey,
Work on your mental fitness, man.
that's something.
Yeah.
There might be an app for that.
Oh, I do
Calm.
want to plug. I do want to.
Calm app, what's that?
Oh yeah, Calm for meditation.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna apply to everybody, but there is. I don't know if it's an app or if I just downloaded the website. But therapy for Black girls that gives you resources for like. I think it plugs you with Black therapists if you feel more comfortable talking to a Black therapist as a Black woman,
Dope.
or a girl. Yeah. But so obviously it's not applicable to everybody, but
Right.
for those who it applies for, check that out
Check that out.
for sure.
All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. You know where to find us. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Apple Podcast. Leave us a great review. Follow us. All that good stuff.
And you can check us out on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You already know what it is. Thank you for tuning in.
Cheers.
Cheers.